Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to use keyframes inside of Capcut. I'm going to be editing a simple animation just to be able to show you how you can be able to use keyframes in Capcut, and a link of the assets that I used in this video will be in the description, so do well to check it out. And you can also join my community to get more info and more access to my tutorials. So first of all, we're going to be importing this podium and resizing it. Then this icon is what we call keyframes. So we're going to click on it to add a keyframe, and we're going to click on it again to add another one. So we have two keyframes. Now we're going to be creating an animation with this. I want the podium to come up from down, so I'm going to take it down while I have my cursor on the first keyframe, so we can extend it. So this is how far it is. The far it is, the more time it takes and the more smoother it is. But there's also a way we can smoothen this out by right clicking and checking the preset curves. We can use quad ease or rebound out, depending on, but I think I prefer the rebound out, so we're going to be using it. So we now have the animation looking like this, but for this video I don't want it to be too long, so I'm going to be reducing the duration. So we now have it looking like this, and note that anytime you change the position, the smoothing or the curves you applied to that particular keyframe is going to change. So make sure you add the curves back after you change the position. So let's import the PlayStation pad. We're going to be adding an animation to it. So this is the PlayStation pad. We're going to resize it so that we can be able to add our keyframes. So we're going to add our keyframe, and we're going to add another keyframe. Now I want it's a product display, so I want the product to come in and go out, then another one comes in again. So this is what we want to recreate here. So I can take this out while my cursor is on the first keyframe. Make sure that the first keyframe is highlighted, if not the animation won't work. And make sure that the PlayStation pad is in a correct position. So after smoothing this out, I can just make sure that it's in the middle one. I think it's kind of bouncy, I don't know, so just be careful and make sure it's in the same position as it was from the starting point, so you don't have the animation looking rough. So we've gotten the position. We can just apply our curve to smoothen this out. So this is what we have. So we're going to we want this to come in and to go out from the other side, so like sliding and sliding out. So to do this, you have to add a starting point like we did before, because if you don't add a starting point, it's not going to work correctly. So we're going to add another keyframe. That's the starting point, then take it out of the screen. That is the end point. So whatever you want to do, make sure you have a starting point and an end point, so the animation will look smoother. For instance, if there is no end point in this, the animation is not going to look smoother. So this is our headset. Let's import our headset. We're going to resize it and just apply the keyframes like we did on the PlayStation controller. So as you can see, we have the PlayStation pad sliding in and going out. So let's just extend it a little bit so we can have the animation coming smoothly. Then also make sure that to apply curves on your starting point, apply curves to any starting point of your animation for you to look more smoother. Like I said, we have a start point and an end point. So for instance, if I remove this starting point, as you can see, it's not going to look smooth. The animation is just going to come in fast and go out of the screen without coordination. But if I add a starting point, it's going to come in and slide out. It's going to come in, wait for some time, and then go out of the screen. So we can do this to the rest of the gadgets we're going to add. So let's add a start and an end point to this headset, and let's take it out of the screen. So we have this animation completed. So we can do this to the rest of the gadgets or any more gadgets you want to add. If you want to find assets to edit your project, you can head over to Pinterest and search any assets of your choice and download them. I'm going to be making a video on how to get assets to be able to be able to use on your animation or any project that you're working on. So subscribe to my channel and make sure to ring the bell icon. So this is the PlayStation console. So we're going to be adding an animation on it like we did before. So follow the steps that I did on the rest of the gadgets so you can be able to animate the PlayStation 5 controller. Don't forget to add keyframe curves to the starting and the ending points. So we have our animation like this. So we can spice things up by adding text. So once the gadget comes in, it shows the text. So we can just add a default text and go over to here. I can just write please PS4 controller. You can just use any font of your choice. Then make sure to reduce the character and let's use a red color on this one. So we have it like you can reduce it a little bit and put it on top of this. So we can just, I don't add any fancy animation to this, so we're just going to time it to the duration of the keyframes. So we're going to we want the name to change once the gadget is out of the screen. So let's just cut it like this and do the rest for the remaining of the remaining gadgets. You can just copy and paste and change the names. So we've added names to all of this, so let's just review it. So we have PlayStation 4, Sony headset and the PlayStation 5. So you can also extend this depending, maybe you have an audio or you have a background music, to make sure it's in sync with the background music. So this is all about keyframes, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I'm going to be sharing more of my tutorials. See you on the next one.